Welcome, everybody, to a Delco Nerd Network podcast. I'm your host, Anthony Ragucci, and here with a few friends from the Delaware County area, we get in a basement and we talk about a certain topic. Today's topic is going to be about our guest, who I'm going to intro in just a moment. But first, let me introduce my co-host, as always, the triple threat, Chris Tria.
It's me, Gooch. I'm excited to be here, ready to chat, man. I'm pumped.
Absolutely. And so, let's not waste any fucking time. Let's introduce our guest. She's been here before. It's been... probably almost 5 years, to the month. Wow. You were when I interviewed you for the first time, Jenny. But Jenny Plant is here. I'm going to read her bio, and hopefully I'm going to do a pretty good job doing it. British singer, songwriter, composer, and multi-instrumentalist Jenny Plant creates a timeless sound layered with her distinctive soulful voice. Jenny has most recently had her track Shouted at Us synced on Love Island and her new release of Better Off Alone on the BBC Netflix series Red Rose from the makers of Sex Education. Jenny is an accomplished artist in the media world, having contributed to the BAFTA-nominated soundtracks both as a writer and singer. She's gained significant recognition for as the featured singer on BB's theme, the title track from the highly acclaimed video game series Death Stranding. This track has been streamed over 10 million times, a lot of those from myself, earning the Best Soloist Award at the VGMO Awards. Recently, Jenny composed the music for the BBC film and podcast uncovering the mystery of the British Museum thief. Additionally, her voice is featured in the live-action Little Mermaid remake, and her compositions and songwriting are showcased across numerous TV shows, short films, and trailers. Notably, she is a PMA-nominated composer for her work on a Netflix trailer. And last but certainly not least, Jenny is a proud member of the BAFTA Connect, further cementing her influence and presence in the industry. Jenny Plant, welcome back.
Wow, bio read so well. Thank you so much. It's great to be back.
Absolutely.
Thanks for having me
We
on.
really appreciate you taking the time. And I'm sorry, I couldn't help but notice the Little Mermaid call out. My wife absolutely adores that movie, so that's very cool to hear. I didn't realize you were in. So you were just you were voicing that. I'm sorry, did I hear correctly? Or
Yeah. I sung on the Little Mermaid. I was part of kind of the whole process of that, really. The kind of pre-records, singing, and
that's really cool.
Under the sea, doing the background and working out what they want. But eventually, the final thing I did in the film was the Triton's Kingdom track at the beginning. I'm a mermaid. I think I'm called Mermaid 1.
I love it. Well, I will have to keep an ear out for Mermaid 1 next time because she watches that movie all the time. She really loves it. So it's one of her favorites. That's
good.
very cool.
Yeah, and I'm excited to kind of talk more in depth about obviously BB's theme, the Death Stranding World Tour, the World Tour, Strands of Harmony, whatever it's called. You know what I'm talking about.
That one, you got it right.
And all that jazz. They're I went back and listened to our podcast, and we'll get to that for a second. It's you have done a lot since I last talked to you. It's actually kind of wild. And a lot of the stuff you were talking about, doing more games, doing more shows, and things like that, you have done. So
yeah,
congratulations. That's awesome. I'm
thank you.
As a fan of yours and discovering you from Death Stranding, it's really cool to see you do your own solo work, and you're in a band now, and who knows what else you're doing. We're going to talk about all that, but yeah, it's great to have you, Jenny. I really appreciate your time.
Thank you. No, it's great to be here.
Yeah, and before we jump into shit, we usually like to talk about what we're doing, watching, playing. Me and Trio are not going to do that because you'd be sitting here bored for a little while. But I did want to throw it to you and just ask, what have you been up to besides working and the tour and singing? What have you been watching? I know you're not a gamer, so not necessarily been playing, but you can go anywhere with this. Say as little or as much as you want. I'm curious what you have to say.
Well, yeah, I mean, I am a bit of a gamer, actually.
Now?
Really?
Well,
as in, but probably not. I don't know if you play these ones, but
don't let me diminish your gamer status. I
have got into playing Unravel quite a lot.
Shit.
And then It Takes Two. I've been really enjoying that.
Nice.
So I have been playing a bit of that. But in general, like, wow, life at the moment is, it is hard to escape that I've just been doing the tour. So it's been really taken over my time. But I think to relax at the moment, what I'm watching is, don't judge me, but a lot of like reality TV.
Nothing wrong with some reality TV. My wife and I love some Survivor. We love all like the nature shows and stuff like that. I guess that's more like the survival type stuff. But we even got into like, Love is Blind? Like she loved that one. We watched for a while.
Yeah. Well, there's a show, I think it's in the US too, but do you have The Traitors?
It sounds familiar, but I don't know for sure.
I don't know off the top of my head. What is it?
It's just like a murder mystery game, but in a reality TV show, but it's a murder mystery game. And
Oh, wait. Is that Alan Cummings?
well, in the UK, it's Claudia Winkleman that maybe Alan Cummings does it rings a bell, maybe.
He's like the host?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I know
yeah.
exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nightcrawler.
But yeah.
Right. Yeah. No, I got it. I know who Alan Cummings is.
But that's my switch off. Honestly, I find that kind of stuff just very easy to, because life's quite busy, and I just find like reality TV quite a good way to switch off. I mean, also obviously some like great Netflix series and all that stuff, but yeah.
I want to dig at the It Takes Two and Unraveled. Are you playing that with your husband, like on the couch?
Yeah, exactly.
Sick.
That's fantastic. Yeah, my wife and I
yeah.
played them both too. We absolutely adore those games. They're so much fun.
Yeah. Go ahead.
They're really good, and the music's amazing, and it's like Unravel especially is like so peaceful, isn't it?
It really is. And I'm sure you've heard of Split Fiction too. That's the game that those guys did recently.
Yeah,
we played that
exactly.
this year too, and it's that's definitely a high recommend from us too. If you guys find another
I've heard about that.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, there's a lot of those like I don't want to call it couples games, but like that's kind of what they are.
Well,
right?
it's fun. There's like a lot. There's a few, but there's not like the couch co-op thing has really kind of gone down. We just don't see it that often anymore. So it's nice when you have that time when you can sit down with your significant other, just a friend on the couch, and play something. But
yeah. No, I don't do it that often, but it's just really nice when do find the time.
It Takes Two won Game of the Year in 2021.
Something I don't know for sure.
Oh, nice.
Probably around there.
Yeah, like so. Yeah, that. I'm trying to think. Was it before Death Stranding won? It definitely wasn't the same year.
No, it was just after, right?
Yeah, it might have been like 2021 or something like that.
That would make sense. Yeah.
Yeah, that was like a very critically acclaimed title. Like everyone kind of loved it. A lot of people like Split Fiction too, but I think the story of Split Fiction is much better. The story of It Takes Two is much better than Split Fiction. It's just especially as a child of divorce, like I find it kind of personally interesting.
Yeah, well, me too. So.
Drama.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Split Fiction, it's definitely not as, I don't want to say deep, but it's a different type of story. It's a bit more
totally
like action fun. Yeah, for sure. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean they're both fun.
I was gonna say Split Fiction's a ton of fun, but
cool. Yeah,
nice.
I because it's always like when I was thinking about this and like, I'm like, what's Jenny watching when she's like, when you're on tour and you're not like I'm sure you're not seeing the sights as much as you want to. You are like working, and you have to like rehearse.
Yeah.
Like
it's a mixture, to be honest. Like I had a few friends come and join me as well on this tour. Like occasionally.
Awesome.
And and so I actually did go to the Eiffel Tower in Paris, and I went to the Louvre. But but obviously like a day of show, we've got rehearsals from like 4 sound check. So the mornings tend to be like kind of a bit of sightseeing time, or just downtime.
Nice. That is good because it's like I don't know, like what it's like I'm not making assumptions like she only performs at night. She's got all this time, but that's cool that it's not like back-to-back hectic. Like you get there, you're there for a few hours, you're rehearsing, you perform, you go to bed, you travel, you do it again. Like it does sound like it could be kind of nuts.
It is nuts, and you're kind of your body clock's completely out because we finish the show and then we do the meet and greet till probably like midnight, 1 o'clock, and then we go out for dinner.
Oh my gosh!
And then you go to bed.
I can imagine that's a long day. I mean, I'm sure fulfilling, but long.
Yeah, it is. But you kind of like you just kind of getting, it's like this high adrenaline, like you're off stage, you've had a great show, whatever, and met everyone, and it's such good energy. You know, all the Death Stranding fans are just awesome. Like everyone was so nice, and so you're on a bit of a buzz. And then the team, you know, you're with the team, they're all so great, and yeah, you just carry on and have, you know, go out after and then wake up and do it all again.
Yeah,
that sounds wonderful.
Yeah. So I went back and listened to our podcast from a few years ago, and it's kind of funny.
Yeah.
It's kind of cringy listening to me talk. Sometimes when I'm like, this is like a more serious conversation. Like sometimes I go back to our past reviews and I can kind of rewatch them and be kind of fine, but like
I still hate watching myself, dude. Even when I have to go through and watch this, I don't like watching myself back or hearing my voice, and that's probably not great for being a podcaster, but it's tough. Yeah.
I feel the same, to be fair.
Yeah, I was like, I'm curious how you feel. It's like it's the same, but a little bit different. Yeah, but I'm like, oh yeah, this is like more of a serious interview. I mean, like we're having fun, but like, you know, I'm like, you know, I'm like in a groove in that, and I was like, yeah, okay, it's like this is gonna be kind of cringy, like all right, I just gotta get through this, and I like forgot a lot about what we talked about, but I did write some questions, and feel free to just kind of talk, like there's things that are just kind of out of order here, like, you know, I'm gonna ask you about meeting Kojima, and you know, that's a part of like talking about the tour, so whatever, we'll just wing it, and it goes where it goes, and if we get off track, we get off track a little bit and talk things out of order. But you know, let me start with this, because you know, we were talking about, I don't, you know, if you recall, we were talking about Yanni in our podcast. Did you ever actually listen to Yanni?
Well, do you know what, I did very recently, since you sent that over and reminded me, and wow.
Yeah, isn't it weird? Like his style.
Yeah, it's so cool.
Yeah, so Yanni's like, I even had a trouble explaining it to you like a few years ago. Yanni is like a Greek, like I don't know, like in like an orchestral type. Like is it like
he doesn't
like he doesn't sing, but it's just like what?
Like he sings tones almost, or is like
I don't think he sings at all.
Oh, no, he doesn't. It's just like instrumental orchestral music. But it's just
gotcha.
Like,
okay,
but he's Greek, and he looks like a legend.
Huh.
Yeah, he's very famous.
I've never,
Oh. And it just it's like early. It's like the definition of the aughts to me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'd have to listen to it.
And the 90s. Yeah.
No, it's a great listen. I was having No, thank you for the recommendation. 5 years later.
Yeah, absolutely. I try. I like to think I have a really good taste in music, like genuinely.
Yeah. I love it.
Like I like to think I'm like, I got an eclectic taste. The only thing I don't really like is country.
My music taste is the radio. My brothers like to joke, just because I have everything. Truly, I'm more like in the 70s and 80s era for sure. But I mean, I think they did the Spotify Wrapped, and it was like, you have the listening pattern of a 57-year-old. I'm like, yeah, that sounds about right for me.
Yeah, nice. Yeah. God, mine was like, I think my listening age was like 21, which I was quite surprised about. But I like such a random mix of music. Everything really. It's good just to dip into sort of bits, everything.
Well, and
really.
I'm sure, like as a musician, even that, I'm sure that helps a little bit. Just hearing everything under the sun, just getting some type of inspiration here and there.
And also, like a lot of the stuff that I get sent briefs and write for film and TV and stuff, and it's like, all the references I get are so mixed genre-wise. So I do listen to a big range.
Yeah, wow. I didn't even think about that process. And when you're when you're getting notes on when you're trying to create this music for a game or something, they're just giving you like reference points and things like that to go off of, and it's kind of a lot of like, I guess, like feeling going into it.
Yeah, like that I'll get for every brief I do. I'm doing a short film at the moment, and one of the reference tracks is just like very minimal ambient textures. So I've been listening to a lot of that. And then I wrote a punk rock track the other day.
That's awesome.
Sick.
I love it.
So it's like, I think being doing on the composing side of things that I do, it's like, you shapeshift and to different genres and get influence from so many different places. And so
it's awesome.
Yeah.
Very unintentional. We're going to ask you the big question, which ironically I knew the answer to now, but I also knew the answer to it when I put it here. about meeting Kojima, because you did
Yeah.
meet Kojima,
did.
and Norman Reedus and Woodkid. I would love to hear about that.
Yeah. Oh God, it was awesome. We were so it was the Paris show, and I'd seen on one of the documents that Mr. Kojima was going to be there, and then also it said a couple of special guests. I think Natalie Portman was supposed to be there as well.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And because I think there's a relationship. Maybe she's married to one of Woodkid's producers. I think there's something like that.
Oh, okay.
Well, I think there's something like that. Anyway,
Right.
but yeah, and then obviously, gosh, we met in. He had a dressing room up by my dressing room. I was like, we were on the like 4th floor in this like venue, and obviously his whole team were there, and Woodkid was there at that point, and the team said, Jenny, he's here now, come meet him. And we came through, and we were all like in our stage outfits, ready to, because we had loads of photos together.
Mm-hmm.
It was so surreal to meet him, and so nice. And we had a photo together, and then we all went down to the stage before everyone arrived, and then Norman came in. I was like, whoa.
Oh, shit. Yeah, it's like, whoa.
Yeah. Well, also, it was like, because I didn't know 100% he was going to be there, he's just obviously so recognizable.
Right.
And we just had our photo with Woodkid and Kojima, and we were like all just standing, and Ludwig and Daisy and Matt who were singing, and I just turned around and looked, and he was just there. I was like, oh my God, like Norman Reedus. And he's so nice. And then, we just, we hung out a bit, all of us, and went back up because their dressing room was next to mine, which was so weird. We just like, in the interval of the show and everything, we'd like bump into each other, and I had,
that's so cool.
And, like had a nice chat with Norman, and, so it was really surreal actually, and I'm so glad obviously I got to meet him finally, and
Right.
He's follow me on Instagram now.
Oh yeah,
God,
you're in. You're in. You're absolutely in.
That's very cool.
That's so funny. I couldn't imagine what I would even like. There's a language barrier, right? So it's like there's only There's only like I'm pretty confident he understands English pretty well. I think Aki Saito is still his translator. I think that's his name. But yeah, like it's like I don't even know what I would say to him. It's like if I ever met him, I wouldn't even. Hey, like what's up? like I don't know. Like you feel like I would feel like kind of like I don't even know if I'd be starstruck. But I feel like
it's a weird one. It is
right,
a weird
because
one.
you just like you really like you want to make sure you're communicating like effectively, I guess, and not being like too like verbose and too much.
Well, yeah, and the thing is, because there were a lot of people in the room, it was like pre-show. We were like, everyone was kind of getting ready, and there was a lot of security situation because obviously, like everyone in the venue, well, at that point they didn't know he was there. And so there was a lot of like security around, and so we didn't have much time. But like obviously we kind of had like it was more. I spoke to him more after the show, and he was like, "Thank you so." He was really nice. Like lovely and like saying well done. But we didn't have like a conversation. But it was very much like a, smiling and clapping and
right.
That's very cool.
Like he obviously like appreciated what we'd just done on stage, and but yeah, so it was well, perhaps something him again at some time, I'm sure, but maybe. But yeah, we didn't have like a long conversation, but yeah, as I said, there was so many people around. Like I spoke to Woodkid a bit, and I had the longest chat I had was with Norman Reedus actually. He was just really friendly and asking loads of questions.
He seems like a nice guy every time I see him in an interview. Like he just seems like a cool dude. So that's very nice.
I think I've seen him from afar at a convention, probably like when no, he's not on The Walking Dead anymore. His spinoff show ended.
Yeah.
When Walking Dead was still like at its height, there was conventions that were around here, and this was probably well before Death Stranding, and probably I don't even know if Silent Hills was a thing yet. So I don't think he was connected to Kojima yet. But I've seen him from afar. And yeah, he does like he just seems like a chill dude. Like
Yeah,
like you
he's
could have
a
a
chill
pretty
dude.
mundane conversation with him, and it would just kind of probably
I feel like a guy for sure.
Yeah.
It's just like one of those.
He's probably
yeah,
just a
that's-
guy.
That's
Like,
funny. And it was funny hearing you mention Natalie Portman too, because the funny thing with Kojima with me anymore is when I see him with a new celebrity or someone that he meets, I'm just like, wow, that doesn't
Yeah.
even like he's just I don't even know who's
Right.
going to be in where
Who's
and stuff like
involved
that.
in what? Are they
Yeah.
scanned into a game?
Yeah,
What's
yeah.
going on?
But it's just very cool to see. And but no, that's wonderful that Norman was so cool and just that. So did I understand right? And I might have missed this. You hadn't met Kojima before. This was the first time you actually met him in person.
No. Yeah, it was the first. We were supposed to meet back in. So when he won the BAFTA Games Fellowship Award. Oh, I can't remember the exact name of what the award is, but back in 2001, and I was supposed to perform BB's theme at the BAFTA Game Awards.
Yeah.
In London, and I didn't because of COVID. That was it. And I was going to meet him then, and then, yeah, the years have passed. I mean, like, to be honest, like since it's just been this year, well, last year really, that things like the music side of things have kicked off, and I've had like the chance to, be more involved. And so yeah, I'm obviously glad he came to Paris. It was awesome.
No, of course.
Yeah, so do you feel like you're really part of something bigger now? I asked you that question in 2021, and you said yes, but now I think it's like...
Yeah, it's different now.
It's very different now.
Yeah, it hits a bit different now. It's like, I think, it's, as I said, especially because this, like, the first time I got to perform BB's theme was like, the first time was back in March last year at the Roundhouse. There was a London Soundtrack Awards. There was a games night, games music night concert, and that's when I first met Ludwig as well, which is mad because
Cool.
like we hadn't actually met.
Right,
Obviously,
yeah. When we talked, you were like, yeah, it's Zoom. You were recording at Abbey Road when you were doing BB's theme, and you were talking through Zoom, and you had never met him at that point. Yeah,
which is crazy to think. And yeah, it's I feel like obviously we had that show, and so it felt like a bit just kind of the world of Death Strand. It just kind of all came back really, because performing it live, and then obviously the tour is, I can see how it's been awesome. I don't know, it feels bigger than it did in 2021, yes, because I've been so involved.
yeah.
And obviously it's got obviously like Death Stranding 2 and like BB's theme being in Death Stranding 2 like has really kind of opened that that door.
No, that's very cool. And honestly, I feel like music can kind of be the unsung hero even in video games sometimes, or even movies, where
Nice
like
pun.
it's easy to
Unsung,
yeah, it's easy to forget. And I think like when it comes to, I don't know, Death Stranding, the music is so integral that it's nice to see you guys get that recognition. Like, even I listen to BB's theme all the time. I listen to a lot of the tracks off it. So it's really great stuff. And I can imagine that's very cool to just see the whole community come together, and it feels very tangible in that moment.
Yeah, it does. It's been amazing. Amazing year of Death Stranding, and to be continued.
There you go.
Yeah,
that's cool to
let's
hear.
hope. Yeah, because I mean, when we talked, like, there was no inkling of a sequel to this game. The ending didn't end like it needed a sequel. I didn't think it needed a sequel. I was like totally cool with this. And then to see the sequel, and it's Wood Kids doing the music for it, and we were talking about in our Instagram DMs about like the Game Awards, and I was like,
God,
the snub the multiple snubs from the Game Awards from Death Stranding, and like the music, and I'm like talking about like again, it's not just Ludwig, it's it's Wood Kid, and this like integration of a singer, songwriter, producer, whatever Wood Kid's titles are, into like a soundtrack like this. Like, this has never been done. Like, so like, to see that not get recognized was wild to me.
Yeah, so it was a bit wild, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Well, and again, I think it is unfortunate too, because I think like the music is such a key part of that game too, of Death Stranding. Just the mood of it all. Yeah. So that I do agree. I think especially
and Expedition 33 fans would say the same thing about Expedition.
I'm sure. Yeah, no, that's
fair. The composer of Expedition 33 was at the Paris gig too, actually.
Nice.
Oh,
did you meet him or no?
No, didn't actually, which is a shame. But he's a good friend of Ludwig's.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, I was like, I'm not surprised. They're all like buddies.
And well, no, and I do. I keep hearing great things about. I haven't heard Expedition's score and all that, but Yeah,
it's I was telling Jenny, I'm like, it's good. Like it's definitely like, wow, okay, like this is like it's in French. It's pretty. It feels pretty different.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
So I know you have done more film and video games, and we're gonna talk more about that. What's been like one project that you've been like, this is so weird, how am I doing this kind of thing?
What, as in like just a project where I'm like, okay, yeah. Well, I guess like The Little Mermaid was a bit of a weird one.
Yeah, for sure.
In being like part of that, as part of a, being a kid watching The Little Mermaid, it was like one of my favorite all-time films.
Mm-hmm.
And then to be singing on it was pretty wild. It was cool to do some like lyrics for the way the Ghost from Ghost of Tsushima. That was really cool. Worked with the Sony team on that again. That was an awesome project to be part of. And then in general, I've just done I've just worked on like loads of different things. Like have my music. Are we talking more about just like things I've done? Basically,
it can be anything you want. I just know you've like a lot of your tracks have been featured in shows or in trailers and things like that. I'm sure it's like not things you would expect. It's like, oh, this is like, I would have never thought of this.
It's true. Sorry. Yeah. So I've had my tracks put in some like fairly big shows, which has been really exciting. Love Island.
Yeah.
But that's all. I mean, that's like whatever. But but there's a really cool show called Red Rose. I had it's quite random how things happen. It was like a cover I did of Alice DJ's song Better Off Alone a while back, and they contacted me and just said, we want to put this in the show, and it's in like quite a big scene, so that was really cool.
Nice.
I think I always get surprised when I get asked to do things, to be honest. Like,
cool.
I think the novelty of it never runs out. I don't know if it would, when it would, but I always feel grateful and just like, this is cool. I never take it for granted. Yeah,
absolutely.
I can imagine it gets something like a little surreal too, like you said, when you're working on something like Little Mermaid, where you've loved that growing up, and then you're like, oh, I actually get to contribute something major to this. It's just very cool.
Yeah, it is. It's really cool, and every day is different. I feel like in my world with what I do, creating, singing, and it's cool. It's exciting, like different projects. Yeah.
It is nice because I do. I when I get into my office every day, I do kind of just do the same thing every day. So it would be nice to get a little bit of a change up. But I can imagine there's some challenges that come with having those new kind of hurdles to take care of with every job. Because I can't imagine just getting like that kind of, like you're saying, those notes on what you have to create for a music or I'm sorry, for like a show or a movie, and you just have to come up with it. Like you just have to come up with it from whole cloth. So I can imagine that's a pretty tough job, but it sounds like you're really doing well, and like it's really kind of picked up too. So that's fantastic.
Well, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think there is that pressure as a creative. You do have to. I definitely have days where I don't feel as creative, and you just kind of have to find it from somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's I feel like I've done, and especially like with performing like this year and doing the tour, and it's been really fun.
Awesome.
Was this your first like large live tour, or have you toured before?
Yeah, it's probably I would say venue wise, capacity wise, this is
Gotcha.
Has been my biggest touring experience. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Have you played? Have you gotten a chance to play Death Stranding at all? Ever?
Oh god. No.
It's fine.
That's not. Yeah.
It's fine.
I'm very like involved in it. Like, as in, I know so much about it.
Right.
Like, I read about it. I
Right.
talk to the fans about it. I talk to Ludwig. Ludwig and I chat about it for hours. Like, he always like tells me stuff, and I feel like I know it really well. But I don't have a PlayStation. Sorry, I have an Xbox. Which,
Sony, what's going on, guys?
You
worked on
I know
two big Sony IPs. I think that's the least they can do.
I feel a bit embarrassed that I haven't yet, but
You shouldn't, though. I mean, that's like it's a big commitment, and also it's
not an easy game to just kind of jump into. Like,
no, it really isn't. It asks a lot of you to a degree, and then also it's
two.
And honestly, you're kind of fighting half the battle by knowing a lot about it. Because even still, with me, like the first time I remember playing Death Stranding, I was just like, you're taking in all these terms and all this lore and like what's going on in the world. And I'm like, I'm still like processing it. I didn't really quite even understand Death Stranding 1 until I played it a second time. So I you shouldn't feel embarrassed about that at all. I think it's a lot.
It's kind of there just to be fun and be like, you know, it's like, you know, obviously,
just show me out, call me out that I haven't played it.
Yeah, thanks.
Thanks for that.
Because also you're at the end. You're at the end of the game. You would literally have to play the entire thing to get to your parts. But in Death Stranding 2, where BB's theme comes in, it caught me so like pretty off guard. I wasn't like really expecting it. It's kind of obvious looking back, like, oh, of course they would put it there, and it appears in the exact same way as it does in Death Stranding 1, where in Death Stranding 1, when you're delivering Bridget Strand to the incinerator, you do that same walk again. BB's theme plays again there, and then in Death Stranding 2, it's the first gameplay sequence in Mexico, but it's a bit different. Spoilers. No, not really.
For the beginning of the game.
Yeah. Just what if you I don't know if you play. I'm pretty sure most people watching this have probably beat the game by now, but just be wary. In the end with BB dying and the reveal of Lou and doing that walk again at the end, it's like it's very powerful. I didn't even it's like I didn't really even like I was curious if it was going to come back. I think in the beginning. And like by the time I got to the end of the game, I was just kind of like, oh yeah, I guess they're not going to use it. And then it just like hits, and I'm like, fuck, awesome moment,
amazing.
Yeah, and I did want to talk. I mean, this is where we get a little heavy. I wanted to talk about BB's theme and what it means to you now, especially the birth of your daughter. You're a cancer survivor, and forgive me if the timeline's a bit wrong. I think you were diagnosed like pretty late into your pregnancy, if I recall.
Yeah, so it was a bit of a journey. So basically, when I was probably like 36 weeks pregnant, I found a lump, and I was told that it was like just a pregnancy lump. But my grandmother had died from breast cancer, so I had this like thing in my head where I was like, I've got to get this checked out. And yeah, thank God I did, really, because it was like a really aggressive form of cancer, and like getting it early is key. Yeah. And yeah, so I found out, obviously it was breast cancer, and Orla was I got induced basically, so she came out a bit early, so I could start my treatment. So yeah, it was not the start of motherhood that I had expected. It was, extremely difficult and time, and but life throws us these crazy challenges, doesn't it? Sometimes, and you just don't know where you find the fight from, but the fight comes. And I had surgery kind of 3 weeks after she was born, and then I had chemotherapy for like 6 months, and then radiotherapy. So it was very, very hard, and I feel grateful that I'm here today and I made it through. And it's obviously a big scar that from there. Like, sorry, well, I didn't actually mean physically, but I mean like just in general, just emotionally. Like, it was it's definitely changed me. I'd say, but we're good. I'm good, and you know, all is amazing, and yeah. So it was pretty nuts. It was pretty nuts, I have to say.
Yeah, I'm glad you're here with us and, you know, doing this.
Absolutely.
And you're healthy and well, and hopefully it doesn't come back and you've kicked its ass and it's fucking dead.
Yeah, I've kicked its ass. I've kicked its ass.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah, like, you know, I again, like timeline, I'm like, I have a funny, like, I think it was like that same year where we did that podcast where, you know, I forget if you were married at that point or you just got married and then you got pregnant. I feel like it, like once we sat down and talked, like all this kind of happened and I was like, holy shit, like I can't imagine what you're going through.
It was all at once. It was all at once. I think it just been COVID, and then I got married and then then pregnant and all and then it did all happen at once.
I mean, that's like a 1-2-3 punch, genuinely. So yeah, I mean, happy that you're here and happy that you made it through. It's tough.
Oh, thanks. Yeah,
of course.
And you know, and also like, you know, but it's just I lost one of my best friends as well in that time from cancer, and you know, we were young to have it, and it was just it was, you know, you look back at that time and it was like, it's actually bit of a segue. Do you mind if I do a bit of a segue here? But
no, absolutely. Go for it.
It's just kind of like thinking about like what I've been up to since I spoke to you, you know, and it's all kind of linked. But one of my best friends who did pass away during when I was going through my cancer battle, it's a beautiful story actually. When she got her terminal diagnosis, she wrote some lyrics and chords on a piece of paper, and her mum found them when she died and gave them to me and said, can you finish the song? And I did, and anyway, it got in the hands eventually of do you know Ronan Keating? He was in Boyzone. No. Okay, well, he was in a big British band called Boyzone.
Okay.
a bit of an icon over here.
I love it. We're missing. I'm sorry. You're talking to two American guys here. We're like, I'm sorry, but sorry.
Yeah, like
continue.
who is he? But yeah, I mean, he's you know, he's a fairly famous guy, but he runs this kind of charity ball like once a year to raise money for cancer, and he got hold of the song for reasons I won't bother going into. But anyway, we performed the song together live. You know, was it in November or December last year, and it was an amazing moment. And it's just like how going through cancer and everything, like I've had these strange but wonderful experiences as well, and being able to like raise money and raise awareness, and it's obviously a path I'd never wanted to be on, but from it, you know, some good can happen, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I know you've posted about, you know, being involved in like, you know, fundraising organizations and things like that since all this. I know you've done I don't know if advocacy group is the right term for some of the stuff you've been involved in, but especially as a creative, I can only imagine like what this sort of experience like does to that part of your brain, and how it's like probably rewired like every creative facet of like your being.
Yes,
and it really like informs everything you write and everything you do.
Yeah, it has, and I know we were gonna briefly talk about, like, you know, I was in a band, Lotide, and a lot of the album the whole album that we wrote and released last year was about my cancer journey. And it was like such a release for me to write that music and perform it. It was just a cathartic way of kind of letting it all out. I always knew once I kind of got well again that I'd want to write about it, and that was that album basically.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
Yeah, and I'm glad, you know, you got the opportunity to do that. I mean, I guess it's
Yeah.
kind of obvious, right? You're a singer, and it's like probably the first thing you'd want to do is make
Yeah,
music
it's
about
my outlet. Yeah,
Yeah.
it feels like. Yeah, exactly.
And I
And-
mean, that was just want to say, wonderful story about your friend too, that you guys were able to put that song together, and like
Yeah.
that's genuinely beautiful. I'm so sorry for your loss there too, but
Thank
it's
you.
great that you can take something like that, at least make something sort of good out of it, take somewhat other good out of it that you can. So that is
Absolutely.
really beautiful.
Oh, thank you. Yeah,
Of course.
It was, crazy story.
Yeah, and like I thinking about BB's theme and the lullaby aspect of it, and
Yeah.
just the whole friggin' song, and then putting it in your own context, it's like it's got to have like such a different meaning from when you first sung it, recorded it, read it, whatever.
100%. It hits hard, and when I performed it on tour, I really I got emotional actually. I remember at the end of Milan, particularly, for some reason the audience, well, not for some reason, the audience all got up at once and just did a standing ovation, and I cried. I cried.
Yeah,
Because I think I felt like that, and that emotion was obviously coming from that, obviously coming from like the experience. It was like the last night of tour, to be fair, as well. But it was just like, I'd felt so like those emotions performing it, and like singing it to Orla, and just like the lyrics, and just the whole thing. And yeah, it really definitely hits harder yet now.
yeah. It's an incredible track. Like
Yeah,
from the moment I heard it, I like when we were talking about it a few years ago, just kind of listening to it, and I'm like, yeah, I remember the first time I heard it. Like I like it, like it kind of just like shifted the entire perspective of this game, that it's like, this is like a really heavy kind of thing. Not that I didn't think that, or I didn't understand that, but it like puts it in a perspective. And Death Stranding 2 is even heavier.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, like it just kind of like doubles down on it, being about grief and loss. And I don't know if I told you this verbatim. I know I kind of mentioned, so like I lost my job, and my relationship ended like right a little bit before the game came out, and like
Yes.
I know I've told him about this, and we talked about it when we reviewed the game, like playing Death Stranding 2 and going through my own like grief and loss process
Yeah.
while playing Death Stranding 2 while Sam is doing that exact same thing with BB was pretty weird.
Oh my God, absolutely.
Yeah, it was like strangely cathartic.
I was gonna say good weird though, right?
Yeah, good weird.
Well,
to the
it
point-
touched. Yeah, go on. Sorry.
No. Go ahead, please.
No, I was just gonna say, like, honestly, like meeting all the fans after the shows, that's really what struck me. Actually, is how much that song has resonated with people and how much it means to them. And it was like really beautiful to like have these conversations that I had with everyone about it. And so to be able to perform it live was really special. Yeah. It was really special.
I unimaginable to me. I can't even imagine. Especially since it is so emotional. Like, how do you not get emotional like singing it? Like,
I know. I did. I cried at the end.
yeah. It's but like every single time. It's like it's I don't know how many shows you've done, but I feel like it just like wouldn't get. Maybe it does get easier, but like I'm like, yeah, it's heavy. I'm like, and you're singing it, and you know what it means to you, and it's
No, it does get. Yeah, I feel it every time I sing it. Yeah, it's not like I haven't numbed out to it singing it. It's definitely like I feel the sense of like of it, and I feel it every time I sing it. Yeah, definitely.
And I'm sure just the energy you get back from the crowd even just amplifies it too. Like it's just
completely.
Yeah, and I'm pretty confident. I'm trying to remember from the Newark show. It is the last song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, to the Wilder.
Right, to the Wilder. Right. Yeah.
Like, but then it's BB's then. But BB's is the encore. Yeah.
Yeah. They do like a credits thing to the Wilder plays.
Oh, very
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes,
I
exactly.
didn't think they were gonna play BB's theme because you weren't there. I was like,
Oh God.
Not that I would have minded, but I'm like, I only want to hear from Jenny. So I was like,
I'm so sorry. I wasn't there.
No, it's totally okay. That would have been like an actual that would have been so incredible to hear you perform it live. I have listened to it. Someone recorded it. I know they're not supposed to, but I have listened to. I think it was from. Not Paris. It was like a little bit ago. It was before I went.
Okay. Oh, but maybe London.
Yes.
Or Sydney.
Yeah, it was from London.
Yeah.
Which is your hometown, obviously. So that's really cool that you got to perform. I'm sure you've been to that venue a lot.
Yeah, that was weird. And also, that gig was so funny because Hammersmith Apollo, I've been there so many times, and it's like, it was so iconic to play there for me. I was like, wow. Well, Sydney Opera House was the most kind of wow moment, actually. But Hammersmith Apollo was really cool. And Ludwig just like put me on the spot at the show and like asked me, I can't remember what it was, but I arrived and he's like, right, tell everyone here what's your favorite thing about living here in London or something. I was like just about to sing and then he put me on the spot and I was so annoyed.
Right, you're like getting ready and it's like, huh? I'm like, what? Like, what?
I was like, sorry, what? Take my in-ear out. What?
That's funny.
Oh God. And I had to like make up. Well, not make up, but on the spot. I just
the thing
spoke
about
it.
it,
You gotta,
you're in singing mode and he's trying to get you to answer a question. Yeah.
Right, you're not. It's not like today where it's like, all right, you've had like a month to kind of think about it, and we're sitting down today and we're thinking about it. And it's like, you're kind of ready-ish. Not like, oh yeah, like how's your day going?
Yeah, I was like, well, I think I did say that how iconic it felt to be at Hammersmith Apollo, but yeah, it was. I think I winged it.
There you go. Well, it seems like you got through it, so that's good. Yeah, that's good stuff.
Ludwig was at the Newark show. He was at the Game Awards a few days earlier, which is pretty cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so but Kojima, going back to him being in Paris, he didn't come up on stage or anything, right?
No, he didn't. There was discussion that he was going to do it, but no, he didn't come up.
Yeah,
I
thought that was kind of interesting. I
think
feel
the house would have shaked or something. Maybe.
I know.
People would
I would
crazy.
kind of expected it. It seemed, going back a little bit. Like it seemed like I'm like, oh, he's in Paris, he's going. Like I knew like.
Oh yeah.
It looks like he did some travel too on top of that, but I was like, oh yeah, he's gonna be there, and then it seemed like just kind of on the DL, I guess. Obviously.
It was really on the DL. It was. I mean, I guess it could have. Maybe it's best that no one kind of knew where he was in the audience. It wouldn't distract from like.
I think that's probably exactly. Yeah, that makes sense.
I mean, Ludwig came like I think it was in the second half. Said he's here, but.
And he's right over there.
It is funny because once you say that, everyone is probably like, "Where is he?" What? Yeah.
Well, apparently, because obviously, like it was him, Norman, and Woodkid all together, like in the audience somewhere. So, but apparently, like the people around them that knew they were there were really respectful and just didn't.
That's very nice. That's
but
good
like
to hear.
that could have been quite overwhelming.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've never been in a situation like that, but
well, you sat next to Chris Hemsworth.
So I was just going to talk about.
Nice.
So when I went to Iceland. Because Death Stranding, I was in a hotel in the middle of Iceland, and Chris Hemsworth is literally sitting probably as far away as Trio is from mine, the same exact position. I'm eating dinner. He's eating dinner with his daughter, and I just heard their Australian accent. I'm eating alone.
Yeah.
Like
of course, you overhear.
You take everything in. You're observing everybody and everything, and like I didn't really, I wasn't looking at him, but they're all Australian, like father-daughter trip to Iceland, huh? Interesting. And then like he looked at me and I looked at him and I'm like, holy shit, it's Chris Hemsworth.
That's
like it was so I knew it instantly, and I just kind of looked away and like looked back and I'm like,
oh my god.
and it's not a big dining room.
Yeah,
like,
no, you're just eating in a restaurant.
Here.
Yeah,
like
that's so cool.
But I'm like, I didn't go up to him. He's eating with his kid, and it was cool to just like respect the boundary.
It was funny getting your text though, because he's like Chris Hemsworth sitting next to me right now, and I'm like, I don't believe you.
I was like, guys, I'm like, you have to believe me. Like,
I
was like, I can't take a picture, and then like one of my friends went to his Instagram, and like he like had taken a picture like on their flight here. And then he posted the next day of like an ice hike he did, which I also did the day before he did it.
Oh my God.
And I was like, fuck yeah. I'm like,
We're like, I guess he wasn't lying.
There's the proof. But yeah, it's kind of like, like you're in that situation. Hopefully nobody's going to act
say,
like a
I would
total,
hope most people are respectful,
total
but I'm
goon
sure.
and like freak out or something,
Yeah.
I'm sure it happens though, unfortunately, but yeah.
Yeah, of course. I mean, yeah, it was, it's very surreal. Like, when meeting, meeting them all as well. Yeah.
Especially someone you just see so much. Like Thor for you, is like you just see him so much.
Yeah,
like you immediately know who you're talking. That's so funny.
Yeah. I did want to switch gears a little bit. I did want to talk about Ghost of Tsushima and working on the Way of Ghost, because IMDb, like, it literally just says lyrics. And I'm sure that's not, maybe it is just what you did, but like, I'm like, I don't trust this. Like, essentially, I would love to know what exactly, like, how you got involved with that, if what you did, the process.
I did. It is actually quite accurate. It is just lyrics.
Oh, okay, cool.
It was because Ilan Eshkari was the composer, and it was Sony came up to me and said that they've got the melody and they need to put words to it, basically. And I was then given like a full, it's quite an interesting story. I wrote those words in Abbey Road Studio, on the balcony of Studio One.
Oh my God, that's amazing. That's so cool.
It's a bit of a random one, because I had the meeting at Abbey Road because I was there at the time for something. I think I was helping someone with a project, and I was told the whole background of the story, and I sat with the music for a while, and then I got Claire Ochima involved, who translated the words to Japanese as well, traditional Japanese as well. So she like did quite a lot with me as well on that. So it was that, but it was a really lovely process.
Was it very different from what you've done before, since you had to work with like a different language too in translation, or did that make it any tougher at all? Or it's going to go forward into something else, so it's like, all right, I know Japanese is pretty difficult to translate.
Yes, that's why that's why Claire came on board, because like I kind of synopsized. Is that a word?
Yeah, sure,
we can make it a word. Yeah.
The storyline into these lyrics, into this and then Claire came and kind of worked with me to like make it work in the language. Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah. Ghost of Tsushima is a great game, and honestly, like, the part where that track comes on is probably like one of the more emotional parts of the game, probably the better part of the game. I watched it like when I was like putting this together, and now I'm kind of like blanking on exactly like. Yeah. I know his horse dies during the song, and it's toward the end of the game, but I for what exactly Jin is doing like right before that, I'm like kind of like blanking on.
It's been a while since we played, so
it's been a few years.
And don't ask me if I've played it.
I wasn't going to. I just remember, like, I really remember playing that game and like hitting that song. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah,
like,
it was. It's amazing.
Yeah,
it's cool,
honestly,
and like, sitting with it. No, sorry, I was just saying, like, just. Yeah, obviously I got to sit with the music for a while before, and it was it's great. It's great. But I do love.
There's a few moments in video games where I just go back to, like even in Red Dead 2, and also like where it's just you have a moment to really sit with the music and the lyrics like that, and I do feel like it's a really great moment, especially even in Tsushima. Like it's very cool for sure.
Nice.
Yeah, and I'd love to hear more about The Little Mermaid too. We were talking about it a little bit more. I don't know if there is too much more to say, but like obviously that's a huge project.
That was a cool one. That was as I said, like earlier, it was I was very involved in like all the pre-records for that film. So at the time they were trying to work out what they were going to do with like Under the Sea, and they decided. So they recorded me, and actually it was what's his name? Oh, I had a mind blank, but it'll come back to me.
No.
Me and this other guy. His brother's very famous singer. Okay, but we did the background chorus of Under the Sea, and but in the end they didn't go for it because they didn't want the animals' mouths to move, so they thought it would be weird if they were singing.
Okay. Yeah.
But I then actually recorded all the mermaid parts at home in my studio. Mermaid 1 to 6 to like do as reference.
It's just so funny. Yeah, Mermaid 1, 1 through 6.
It was actually a lovely story because I did that before. Well, that was when I was pregnant. Actually, I did that, and I did Mermaid 1 to 6 exactly, all different ranges. I was like hitting those high notes that I definitely can't, and like doing all of it, and because they used it as the reference to show the client like what it would sound like, and then they're like, when they got the approval, we were all invited to record it at our studio. And because I did all the work, they put me in as Mermaid 1, as I said. But I was just, I just literally got diagnosed with cancer at that point. So I had just given birth, and the recording session was, honestly, I think it was like 2 weeks after I'd given birth, but I was like, I have to be on the show.
Wow.
Right. How can you pass that up?
Well, exactly. Well, the guy that I was in contact with about it all, he was like, we really want you to be there. And I was like, God, I really, really want to be there. And it was really, I was tired. It was quite exhausted, but I did it. And and then they invited me along to the premiere, obviously, when it was it was a weird time when I recorded that, but I'm so glad I did because I'd put in so much work before with all the like pre-records.
That's awesome.
So it was cool. I was across that project for a while.
What was a red carpet like?
Yeah, good. It's quite surreal. Those moments, like, I took my sister, which was really nice.
Cool. Oh, that's great. Yeah. And then, so I guess how long did that like process take from like start to finish? Like for when you got the job to like when the movie's out then? Yeah,
probably like a year.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you were doing it, did they obviously, we were talking about like you were talking about like the fish mouths moving, so like CGI was probably not done, but like did they have anything like were you singing to something, or it was just like, here you go?
Yes, I was singing to picture, but it was in early stage. Like the graphics weren't like 100%, and I think at that at that point they hadn't, as I said, decided if the crabs or whatever mouths were going to be moving.
It's funny.
Such an interesting like. It's kind of weird.
Well, it's weird because like when you start making an actual animal's mouth move, it just looks weird. Yeah, it's not like an animal.
Well, yeah, it's something to think about, isn't it? It's something they like obviously went back and forth on, because like in the original Little Mermaid, I swear it was like loads of chorus.
Yeah.
Singing, but they obviously decided in this one it wasn't as realistic. I don't know.
No,
that could have been. I feel like we talk about the Disney live actions a little bit because like. They make a lot of money, and it seems like I think Lion King was like they did that.
Well, they tried to.
It was it was a real animal, but it was talking like a person.
Right, but then you start to run into that issue of like they can't emote they emote like a human in the cartoon because they're obviously drawing them to look more human, but like it just doesn't come across the same when you're putting it on just like a straight up like lion's face. Yeah. But I mean, I still thought it worked as well as it could, but it is. Yeah. It's something like you were saying, Jenny, you just don't really think about it until you're like getting into it, and they're like, the faces look kind of weird when we're moving the mouth.
Yeah. So we did all the recording for it, but I don't think we didn't that the Under the Sea didn't come through.
Wonderful. That's unfortunate, but I'm glad you still got Mermaid 1.
Mermaid 1.
Yeah,
Jenny playing
Mermaid 1. We're so happy about that.
Tell me about Lotide. I know this is like a recent project of yours with Simon Pitt. You talked about it a little bit earlier, but I'd love to hear more about it.
Yeah, Lotide. So, as I said before, like it was really like Simon came to me. He'd written this kind of concept album, was like, it definitely needs a top line, and it was like just. during my cancer treatment and like after, and I was like, oh my gosh, wow, this music's really hitting for me, because like I'm a big Sigur Rós fan, and it was like that vibe, that kind of sound world, and Rye X and like London Grammar, that kind of vibe, and I just kind of channeled that side of, well, everything I was going through, I just kind of channeled it into that music, and we wrote this album, and we gigged it a few times. It was so fun, and the project's like, we ended up writing music for a film called The Novel, which for a feature film recently. That was cool, but you know, Simon's a film composer like full time, and like I am doing my thing, and it's like the band's still going. We've got music that's unreleased, and we're looking forward to releasing it at some point, but it's also, because of everything, taken a bit of a pause at the moment. Like, it's still like there, and the music's out there in the world for everyone, which is great. But yeah, like gigging wise, we've just both been really busy. Like, you know, and it's hard to do it. You can't do everything, right? But
yeah, absolutely.
But
yeah, for sure.
But it's been a amazing project and outlet, and we've got some really cool unreleased stuff.
It's funny, so you said Simon is a film composer. I can hear that in that album. That makes a lot more sense, because it's like, it's Jenny Plant, but it's I would say it's vibier. It's got a vibe to it, and once you said film, I'm like, oh yeah, okay, I can totally hear that. Then that makes a lot of sense, because I'm like, I don't even know how I would describe this. I don't think I'm very good at describing like what music sounds like. It's like, it's like genre. Vibey. Like, I don't know.
It's kind of cinematic, electronic, ethereal kind of.
Yeah,
like,
I love it. Yeah, your signature.
Yeah, ethereal. Exactly, that's me. Well, so not my music style. Yeah, yes. Yeah, so it's cool. Yeah, so like it's still going, but it's like, with gigging wise, it's on a pause. But we get commissioned to write music a bit as well, like for projects. Yeah,
cool.
That's very cool.
Yeah, and I did want to ask you about what you have coming. I mean, you know, this can be your stuff, projects you have upcoming. I you know, Jenny's links are below, and I don't know what we're gonna have there, but you know, whatever it's gonna be down there, you'll be able to find Jenny pretty easily from the description. But yeah, what are you working on?
What am I working on? So what I'm working on at the moment, I'm actually working on my own album.
Oh,
which
nice.
is really exciting, because I've spent a lot of time singing like others, like song, like I've done some like quite a lot of covers for. I've just done a big TV advert here in the UK, like doing a cover of Somewhere from West Side Story, and I've done like, well, obviously I've got BBs and all that stuff, but I want to do like my music as a solo artist. And I've already started having like writing sessions with people, and I'm really excited about that. Releasing, me, like me as an artist, me, like my vibe. Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah, I'm sure it's kind of rewarding to work on other people's things and do other projects that, you know, it's you for sure, but it's not your music. It, you know,
exactly, like like. It's me as an artist, like, you know, BB's like, it's my like, obviously Ludwig wrote the music. My voice, artist voice, but like I want to write. Yeah, this is me writing my stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm definitely, you know, I'm gonna be there day one for you.
For sure. Yeah. No.
Well,
definitely
thank you.
Yeah.
And then like and then I'm doing like just working on some films and stuff like that. I've got a few like different projects on, which I look forward to.
Any other
sharing more about?
That's amazing. Any like video game specific stuff that you can talk about at all, or? Not
anything like to like talk about right now. Yeah.
Understood. Awesome.
Yeah, it was funny. Me and True were setting up, and he's like, "Yeah, you know, like I didn't even."
Oh no, it was
it was just funny because I didn't even think about it, and I'm like, "Oh," he's like, "Oh yeah, just make sure you don't ask her, you know." breaking NDAs.
Well, no, of course, no, yeah,
I'm
that's
just-
right.
Oh,
It's-
yeah.
anything
I
you
didn't
can
even,
only talk about. Yeah,
I didn't
that's
even
what-
like think about that. It's not like I was like, sometimes
Yeah.
people get people on podcasts and like not that people are like fishing for headlines, but it's like, oh, like it's
What's
like,
going
and I'm
on?
like, I didn't even like think about that. like really,
Yeah.
realistically.
Well, I think in this world there's always some sort of like secretive stuff going on in the
Of
background.
course.
Yeah.
No, you have to.
And,
Especially in the video game industry, specifically, even like this,
Big
just all,
time.
it's all secret stuff. But
Yeah,
very
Yeah.
cool.
yeah.
yeah.
So let's talk about Strands of Harmony more in depth here. When did you learn about this whole thing? When did you learn you were going to be a part of it? I'd love to hear it because there are so many, I'm sure you probably know this at this point. There are so many video game score tours, concerts,
Yeah.
that sort of thing. They've been around for a long time. So, Metal Gear Solid has gotten them.
Yeah.
This game getting them is no surprise, but love to hear about it.
Yeah. So the first time I met Ludwig back in the Roundhouse last March, we performed BBC Theme Live, obviously for the first time, and at that time I think there had been like rumblings about like Ludwig. I don't know if he'd known exactly at that point in March. Oh no, he must have done. Sorry, but he knew that potentially there was going to be a tour. I think they actually had organised it before even asking Ludwig. I think he like
Interesting.
he like found out a bit like after it had been kind of organised. And he was like, we've got to get you hopefully to sing, certainly in London, your hometown.
Absolutely.
And obviously we'd just done BBC Theme Live, so it was all kind of hot, and like we were ready to like. He just emailed the tour company and put us in touch and said, I've just sung with Jenny, like we should get her on the tour. And then it kind of went from there. So I found out in like May last year probably that they wanted me to do London, and then it kind of back and forth conversations expanded to more places. Sydney was quite last minute, to be fair, actually. They were like, I went in November. I think I found out in like that was going in October.
That's crazy.
Yeah, because it was like the opening night, and it was just like it just made sense to be there, and I'm so glad I did. Yeah,
That's awesome.
Yeah. I went to the New Art show. There are, as of this podcast recording and being out, there are some more shows. It is coming back to the U.S. I know Boston and Seattle. I think there might be some others, but I know it's going to Japan too.
Yeah, it's going to Japan. Yeah.
I don't know if Kojima is going to make his grand debut on the stage there for that, but we'll see.
Yeah. Maybe.
Yeah. And the concert was awesome. I was lucky enough to go and be a part of it. Unfortunately, I didn't hear you sing, but there were some other musicians, and it was awesome. I didn't expect the Woodkid stuff. That it actually kind of caught me off guard. I expected the score, but I didn't. I don't know why. I just didn't expect Woodkid songs to be played. So that was really cool.
Really cool.
Were you like singing some of those stuff or no? It was just BB's theme.
So no, I didn't. I literally come on for one song. and, and it's quite funny backstage because we all joke because it's like, oh, Jen, it's 11 o'clock. It's your time.
Jenny's your time. Yeah.
I'm like
fun.
waiting for so long, and Daisy and Matt, who sung with me around Europe and London, are just epic, and they did such good vocals for Woodkid stuff and Low Raw.
That too. Jeez, I forgot about that. Yeah,
Yeah,
the low roar caught me
and-
off guard too.
Yeah, well, they did an amazing tribute to Ryan, didn't they? You do obviously the second track in.
Yeah.
And then Daisy did. Yeah, anyway, basically, I come in. That was what I was saying. I come in for one song. It's quite funny, but I love it.
No,
It's a big contribution, though.
It's one song that's like is the song.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Don't undersell
yeah,
yourself here.
it's obviously like a really special moment, and Ludwig introduces it and said, that I'm here to sing it, and it's awesome. I love it. It's great.
That's
it's
amazing.
good fun.
From the clip I saw of you singing, Ludwig, he was on guitar. Like,
he's
yeah. Go ahead.
yeah no he's on guitar, and he's on guitar throughout the show. I mean, he didn't. Did he perform in Newark?
No. So
No.
I think he was there to come on stage and kind of be funny and like say some few things. So obviously like it was not planned. So that's kind of what I had thought, that he was like, oh, I'm here. Like I'm just gonna, show up kind of thing. And yeah, he came out and talked about some few things, and but he didn't perform or anything like that.
Yeah, so he performed in Europe, and he did. He was shredding it on the guitar, I have to say. Like,
that's probably a sight.
I think he was making some jokes about like Higgs and stuff like that. I know he mentioned Higgs at Newark, because of the guitar stuff, and he's like, "You guys are crazy. Why do you like this guy?"
Yeah, he did, and he did like he played Cargo Fast. He played and One Last Fight. And he went up. Actually, it's quite funny. He like went up in the audience and was like shredding like round the
That's awesome.
That's so cool.
And then he played in BB's theme. It's nice. It's so nice like that we can like perform it together. It's
that's wonderful.
Yeah. I mean, I would love for this tour to come back. Who knows if we're gonna get a Death Stranding 3. It's definitely not gonna be for a hot minute, knowing what Kojima has coming up with OD and Fizzant, and the Death Stranding anime and
the movie,
right? I guess there is opportunity. There's a lot of stuff that we, when I last talked to you and with Death Stranding 1, we did not know what was coming from Kojima Productions, but now we know like a lot. And I haven't said this to you, but I'm totally cool with Death Stranding, like kind of taking a backseat, because I didn't expect a sequel, so to get a sequel like right after, and then great, fine, but it's like give it a rest. I think it can kind of come back, and we talk about sequels and stuff like that all the time with either movies or games. It's like, sometimes it's series taking a rest and you kind of not forgetting about it, but like, damn, I would love to play Death Stranding and miss it a little bit. Unlike Marvel, where
give it some space.
We're watching a Marvel movie or show like every few months, and we're like, oh,
it just
but
becomes
at least I am. It's like oh yeah, like. We're there day one, but like I'm sure shit ain't happening.
Right. You want to miss something a little bit. You want to miss its absence. It just makes it coming back that much better. So, for sure.
Oh God, for sure. I think this tour is going to keep on going for a bit, though. I think it's been really popular, and
cool.
I know that they'll be adding more dates, basically.
Awesome.
That was one thing I wanted to ask. How, I mean, you talked earlier about like fan reception. It's been doing well, which is great. Like, what have you been hearing, and like, that sort of thing.
Yeah, I think it's just that connection, isn't it? All like the Death Stranding community together in one place, like experiencing these songs live. Like, this music is insane live. It's really suited to it, and going back on the journey and like feeling the music and being with people that have experienced it as well, and just like it's just such a lovely vibe. Every show has been a lovely vibe, and as I said, like I've met so many people and spoken to them, and they just, you can see like how much it means to them, and I feel like it's such a great thing to do, isn't it? To put on a concert to celebrate the music, because it is such an integral part and like of the journey, and
it's been cool that like games in general have this opportunity to kind of like exist in like a different medium and like do the concerts. Like I remember when I was younger, there was like, I think it was called Video Games Live, and it was like an ensemble, like, oh, we're gonna play like popular tracks from popular games that like probably like everybody knows, but like every series from Zelda to Death Stranding to Nier Automata, like all these series are getting their own like concerts, their own little tours. Not all of them are super huge, they don't all go every single place in the US or in Europe and Asia and whatnot, but the fact that Death Stranding is going all over the place is awesome, and that they're doing this, and yeah.
I mean, and it just shows you how many people it's touched, to be honest. Like, you're going to all these different communities, all these different countries. Like, it's very cool.
Yeah.
I saw Milan and Paris and maybe one of those other European shows that you went to were sold out, which is awesome. That's got to be like a fucking feeling to, be singing that song to like a packed theater. I can't imagine.
Yeah, it's really incredible, and it's been really. Yeah, I had the best time. Like, I just.
That's so good.
It's actually also it was a blast because, like, not only for like being able to communicate that music to people like live, it's also just like the team as well. I just have to do a shout out to the team really, because Soho Live, Gaetano and Tyler, who were with us, they're just like epic, and they've just put on all these shows and done so well. And Ludwig is just obviously incredible and so fun to be around, and incredible musician.
I mean, what do they say? It takes a village, so I can only imagine with a show like that, with how many people just behind the scenes that you guys rely on, and it's cool to hear that you guys have a great crew and all, just great everyone crew in it. Yeah.
And Daisy and Matt, who sung the song so well, and then the orchestras, all the crew, the sound, like they all, everyone was just awesome, and so it just made for a really good time. We had a really good time, and as I said, like it was so awesome to see everyone like enjoying it. That's like the power of it, of connection and all that stuff. Yeah,
absolutely. I do have a sort of a general question for you. The orchestra.
Yeah.
Like, did they travel to every show, or is that like locally sourced? Like, I've always wondered this. I'm like, who are these people?
It's a great question, and I was asking that question when I got to Berlin. I was like, so what's happening with the orchestra? So basically, in each venue, like around the world, they've got different orchestras. So Sydney, we had the Sydney Metropolitan, or I think so. I think that's what they're called. Yeah, and then there was a London Metropolitan in Hammersmith. And then in so for the Europe leg, so Milan, Paris and Berlin, we had the ESO, and they are based in Milan. Now they came to Berlin, they did the first show, then they got in the bus and drove overnight, or like a 12-hour journey to get to Paris.
Oh jeez.
And then I know, and then they did the show in Paris, then I think they flew because there wasn't enough time, and then they're in Milan. Yeah, so in Europe it was the same orchestra. Around the world it's different orchestras.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah,
because I'm like, how the hell are they flying all this shit?
And
that seems like crazy. I'm like, what?
I did forget, and I'm sorry. You said it took a 12-hour journey from Berlin to Paris.
Yeah, they did a coach trip. Yeah.
It is funny. Like I do for 12 hours here would get you to where? Like 2 other states maybe at most. Like
it takes 6 hours to get to Pittsburgh from here.
That's interesting. Yeah, it's just funny to think about that. I do forget how close I've never been out to Europe. I've never been outside the US. I'd love to go do like a little trip around there and be able to go to different places.
I know Australia.
Random sidebar.
No, it's totally cool. I know Australia's afar for pretty much everybody. What was like your what were your flights like? Were they like like long? Like I have no context for flying in Europe.
Yep, Australia was long. It's 22 hours.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
and that's straight. Was there like a layover or anything?
I mean, you're literally across the ocean from us, but we're probably the farthest. Like the East Coast and London are probably we're the farthest. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my god, completely. It's like, it was. I went to Singapore and then on the way, and then to Australia, and then way back via Doha, and then. But yeah, it was like 25 hours on the way back. Oh my god. And also like you just never got. I never got into the time zone. I was there for
you're just
6 days.
You're just there.
I did, like you just exist. I don't know. I came back and I didn't sleep for like 2 weeks.
Oh my god! I can only imagine.
That was savage.
Was it rough to be away from your family? I'm sure.
Yeah,
it's not like something. Hey, you want to come? Like
yeah,
it's a little bit hectic.
I think the thing is like the most I'm away is a week. Really, like on these tours. So, it's week increments. So that's the longest I probably would go. But if I went out and did another show, maybe in like, another part of the world. Next time, maybe I'd bring the family for like a week or something. Yeah.
Cool, yeah.
It's just like I couldn't take Ola to Australia. It's just like for 6 days. It's just too long.
22 hours on a plane with a kid
For 6 days only.
my
Yeah.
God.
And there's
It's
no
like-
way you can even like adapt to the time zone there if you're only there for 6 days. You just have to like.
Oh,
I
no.
can only imagine.
No, I just don't know what happened really.
Yeah, you just go with the ether.
Yeah, you just go. So yeah, that's obviously the one side of it that's like, you know, a bit more tricky, but actually she's quite used to it, and
Cool.
you know, it's fine. It's like a week, you know. It's all right.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily know if I have any more questions. I'm sure there's tons of shit we could talk about, or if there's something you wanted to talk about particularly that I didn't bring up about the tour. I want to make sure you do say it, but I don't know if there is anything.
No, I don't think so. I think we've kind of covered it all, really, haven't we? We spoke about. Yeah, I feel like we've covered it all, really.
Yeah, yeah.
Off the top of my head, I can't think of anything else to say.
Trust me, we'll finish. I'm gonna be sitting eating dinner tonight and be like,
but-
fuck.
To ask this, yeah.
Because it happens
Well-
every time as a podcaster. Like, there's always something you forget. It's just kind of like inevitable.
My question to you, actually, like when you went to the show, did you feel like the picks of music? Were you pleased with the picks of choice of songs that they did?
Yeah, I was. There is so much to pick from. Like, yeah,
that's the thing.
Yeah, and it's like, again, I was surprised. I'm like, oh, they're doing Low Roar. Like, this isn't the score. This is another band's music.
Yeah.
And they're doing Woodkid stuff, which makes sense, but like, it's Woodkid stuff. It's not the score.
Yeah.
I was satisfied. It was quick.
Yeah,
you know, you're there for like 2 hours, but like it does not feel like that. It kind of feels like almost just an hour.
Well, that means you're enjoying it, right? I would
yeah,
hope so,
yeah. You're like, oh, we're done. Yeah, you know.
Yeah,
and
it does go quickly. I also want to shout out to the percussion section because I feel like they really rock it in this. in that
Absolutely.
the Woodkid stuff. Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, it does go quick. I mean, it flies by, doesn't it?
Yeah. The Woodkid stuff. I give props to the singers. Those songs seem really difficult to sing, and you probably understand that way better than I do. But like, he's got a weird voice.
Very specific voice. Yeah. And it sounds great,
the range.
obviously. But
They needed to find someone basically who's a bass and a tenor, because like in -61, like it starts so low.
Yeah.
And then it's like, and then obviously some of the other songs just go like, well, to the wilder. Yeah, it's like, it's massive range. So to find a singer that can do that. So Matt Kent, who did it in Europe and London, like, it's epic. He managed to do it really well. I think for -61, he like went up the octave for the second verse, like just because it sounds like he can excel his voice there.
I mean, as someone who knows very little about music, hearing someone have that type of control in their range, especially on the low side, always kind of blows my mind. And like,
the low stuff. Oh, yeah.
Is it so? Yeah, is that like when you're singing? I guess this is like kind of an obvious, stupid question, but like when you go from low to really high, is that like kind of like is that how you hurt yourself? Like doing that kind of stuff? Like if you're not really like prepared to make that shift in your tone of voice, like I assume that's how you could like get hurt and like, you know.
Yeah, I think it's just about, it's more just that's just tricky. It's just challenging to do,
right?
And so it just takes practice, like doing those jumps, and so it doesn't sound like oof. You know, it's you know, for Matt, like it's a big range jump, so it's just, I mean, he's very skilled, so he can do it. But there's not many people that can, and they've got some great singers.
So it's kind of like you're specialized in, like a singer could be like, oh, I'm specialized in doing this. Like this is what
exactly.
I do. Because you know, you need it for some songs.
Well, and I can imagine, especially in like orchestral type stuff, like I don't know the correct terms, but like your tenors and like the different people who hit those different notes, like I can imagine how specific you need to get.
Without a doubt, exactly. And you know, they've obviously been like, they found people that can do that. You know, that's
awesome.
It's just
Especially with such a specific sound like Ludwig. Like I can only imagine how tough that is.
Yeah.
I feel like that's kind of it.
Yeah.
That's all I got. We got through everything.
Yeah.
And then not too much time.
Absolutely.
I feel like we've been
Great.
sitting here a while, but it's only been like an hour and a half. I think we started on time. I don't actually know when we
Yeah,
I
started.
think we were
yeah.
like 12:10ish, or I guess 5:10 for you, Jenny. But
Yeah, before I throw it to Trio, Jenny, I did want to give you the opportunity to like formally plug yourself. Where can people find you, listen to you? Obviously, everything's going to be linked in the description below. But yeah.
Yeah, you can check me out. I mean, on all the streaming sites, my music, you know, under my name, Jenny Plant, on like Spotify, iTunes, wherever you get your music. You can find me on Instagram at Jenny Plant Music. YouTube. I've just recently done a nice little acoustic version of BB's theme.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
So that
I'll have to check that out.
find that. You can find that online at the moment. So that's I'm everywhere at Jenny Plant Music.
wonderful.
Cool.
All right, yeah, and we'll link that all down below, of course.
Yeah, Jenny, thank you so much for taking the time out of
Truly.
your night to
Yeah.
talk to us. We don't often do like interviews like this, like I guess like an industry interview,
Yeah.
sorta. But I'm really thankful that we've become friends over the years, and we've been able to do this not once but twice. It's really cool to be able to hear this side of games that probably not a lot of people hear about. I mean, yeah, I know you know that every game has sort of some singers that are involved, but I don't feel like you hear from them a lot. So it's really cool to sit down and talk to you, not just for our own interest, but other people's this is out there for people to be like, hey, what's it like to be a singer and work in games and do these kind of tours. So yeah, I really thank you for your time and your attention.
Not at all. No, it's been awesome to chat to you again, and it's a pleasure to be on here.
Cool.
No, absolutely. And it was great to meet you, Jenny.
Yes, you too.
I can only echo at Gooch here. Thank you so much for coming on. This has been a blast. But I think that does it for us here today. I just got married at the beginning of the month, so I have a ring.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. And I keep slapping it on the table.
That was the first time
I
you
know.
did it.
That was the first time, so I'm trying to be better about it. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching with us live. If you've been with us on Twitch or YouTube, you can catch us streaming live on those platforms usually. You can find us our Facebook page or Discord channel, all that good stuff will be linked down below. We got social medias as well. We're at Delco Nerds on everything. You can find all this information at our website, delconerdnetwork.com. You can even email us your comments, questions, or concerns to delconerds@gmail.com. We'll be happy to get back to you. But for Jenny, for Gooch, I've been Trio. Thanks for watching, guys. Stay nerdy. We will see you next time.